Welcome. My name is Thomas. I'm here to share in this video my live workshop that I'm going to use to walk you through the actual steps that I take my clients through getting started who want to start their own tax preparation business. So I wrote an ebook last year that I wrote out that takes you through the steps to starting your own tax service, which I started selling last year for $27. So for everybody who wants that ebook, uh, right here in this description area or a comment area is a link that you can click on that'll take you to the book where you can download it to your computer. So if you're looking to start a tax preparation business and you've already done your research and you still don't have the confidence in yourself to go out and make all these different tasks happen to start your own tax business, then the next logical step would be looking into investing in yourself through someone's mentorship or coaching program, which is designed to help you start your own tax business by taking away all the guesswork, taking away all the frustration and the uncertainty on how to get started by having someone who has experience and training on helping other people start their own tax preparation business. So if you're looking to get started and if you already done your research, but you're just not confident in the different steps and tasks you got to take to make it happen, then you definitely want to look into someone that you trust enough, who you feel confident in, who can deliver on a promise of helping you start and grow your own tax preparation business. So in the ebook I wrote, instead of me going through a presentation, I just simply make the ebook available to all who are going to be on this video so they can follow me through the modules or the steps that I take my clients through versus me recreating the wheel by trying to do a whole new presentation and then bringing some slides over. I just simply make the ebook available to everyone that's interested in starting their own tax service. So if you're interested in starting your own tax service, then this ebook will definitely give you the information needed to make it happen, but you just have to have the confidence in yourself to go out and make it happen. So I got 20 years of experience, 14 as a business owner in the career industry of tax preparation and taxation. So this is a career industry, and if you're looking to do a business as well, then you want to definitely make sure that you take care of all the necessary things you need to do to make it happen for yourself. So when it comes to having a tax business, uh, the first new issue that's coming up now is the secure account situation. Back in the day, we used to have a process that we had to go through to get access to the e-file provider's application, but it wasn't nowhere like it is now. Due to identity theft and due to being what it is right now, the IRS has locked down the website to the point where you can't get access to certain functions and features unless you have a secure account. And the big challenge is you have to have certain financial information in order to create a secure account. So if you don't have a credit card, if you don't have a student loan, if you don't have a auto loan, if you don't have a mortgage or a line of credit, then you have no way of creating a secure account, which gives you access to the e-file provider's application that you need to fill out. That's going to give you access to getting an EFIN number, which is the electronic filing identification number, which allows you to buy professional software and work with the third-party banks that's going to collect your money on your behalf. So that's a crucial step right now, is being able to create a secure account. And so the people that I'm working with, they all had issues with creating a secure account, even if they had the financial information, because it took several attempts. For whatever reason, it took more than one attempt to be able to create a secure account. But once they got that done, everything else was streamlined. Everything else was smooth because that was the only stumbling block that was really in the way of being able to fill out all the information you needed to go through the process of having your full-fledged tax service put in place by, number one, the secure account situation. Number two, once you go through the secure account situation successfully, then you get access to the e-file provider's application. Then you want to call IRS and get 2 fingerprint cards because you got to get fingerprinted for a background check to make sure you're suitable for them to partner up with you. And then while we waiting for that, we talk about your business structure. Are you going to do sole proprietor? Are you going to do LLC? Are you going to do corporations or what have you? And then if you decide to just keep it simple and do sole proprietorship, then that's a free method where you can go online through my guidance, where I can help you fill that out, where you can get that IRS employer identification letter right then and there, versus me doing it as a third party vendor where I have to send it to your house. And that takes time that we don't know if that's going to be 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks. We don't know. So the fastest way to make it happen is let me walk you through filling out the application. That way you can get the letter right in and there. You can save it to your computer, and then you can print it when you have a chance if you don't have a printer already at home. And so that's how that works when it comes to the process of getting your secure account out the way, being able to get the application filled out for the e-file provider's application, 2 fingerprint cards. And while we're going through that process, we already talked about what business structure you're going to do. Are you going to be sole proprietor? Sole proprietorship is the simplest form of ownership you can do, where you don't have to have an employer identification number. But we do recommendations from the IRS where we recommend that you do get one so you can separate your business with that number versus having your business under your social security number. And so that's what we recommend all the clients that we work with do. And that's a mandatory situation for us to be able to work with you ongoing. You know what I'm saying? That first season, we're going to educate you. We're going to tell you and show you what all the things you need to do and have as a self-employed small business owner. And if you don't put those things in place for the following year, then we can't do business with you. Because we educated you, we showed you what you need to have in place. And at this point, if you choose not to do that, then that lets us know that you didn't take what you were doing seriously enough to get it done, where next year we can continue to do business with you. And we even assist you with making all these things happen. So it's really no excuse not to get it done unless you're just not serious about taking what you're doing as a business and being credible with it and building it and being there long term for it. So when it comes to the actual steps that I take my clients through, I wrote this ebook out in maybe a week. It took about a week to write it out. I had somebody reformat it and make it look more presentable and everything like that. And I started selling this ebook last year for $27. And the book basically sold without me even knowing about it in some cases, because I'm selling on different platforms that I have. And then, I check those platforms from time to time, and I turn around and say I have a sale. But right now, I'm giving away the ebook for everybody who's going to be a part of this workshop. And so that Bitly link is the link that's going to take you to a page where you can download the ebook. And so if you want the ebook, that's how you can get it. And then, so what we do is the first module in the ebook, it covered the business setup and the EFIN situation. And the EFIN situation was what I just talked about. It was the e-file provider's application that you have to be able to fill out, which is going to allow you to get your electronic filing identification number, which is the 6-digit number that's going to allow you to go buy professional software and work with a third-party bank that's going to collect your tax preparation fees on your behalf. So that's very important. That's the money page right there. That's how we make our money, by having that number that we can take to any vendor that's selling professional software and purchase it, and then get with any third-party bank that's part of the refund system and process that refunds that we can get paid from the clients that's not used to paying out of pocket. See, I got low-income clients who get the $6, $8, $10, $11,000 refunds. They're not used to paying out of pocket. And if they had the money, they wouldn't pay out of pocket because it makes no sense when they're looking at that type of refund. So you got to have a way to take that out legally. And the only legal way to do that is to work with a third-party vendor that's going to have that taken out on your behalf. And so once we talk about your business structure, are you going to do sole proprietorship, or you're going to incorporate to LLC or corporation or S Corp or whatever the case may be, based on the information that I explained to you, you get to make a decision on what you want to do with that. And then from there, if you decide, hey, we just want to keep it simple right now, we're going to do sole proprietorship, then just help me fill out the application so I can get my letter right then and there, then that's what we'll do. Then the next step once we get that out the way, is then filling out the e-file provider's application, because your business credentials must go on an e-file provider's application. So whatever business name you're going to use, that business name, the employee identification number, the address, and all that is going to go on the e-file provider's application. And then that way, once the IRS process your application, it's going to line up with the employee identification number you already got from them. And so the next step is we talk about getting you a business account. You're going to need your employee identification letter. You're going to need a assumed name certificate, especially if you're doing business in a name other than your own. Like myself, I'm using my name to do business with. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're using your own name to do business with, yeah, based on where you live at, you might not need an extra document. You might just need the employee identification letter, valid ID, of course. Uh, you want to have your PTIN letter. You want to have your EFIN letter, SUMMY letter, and those are the documents you're going to need. That you're going to need to deal with the uh, professional software people and the third-party banks. And then once you decide what software you're going to use based on your budget, because that's technically how it's going to go. You're going to decide, hey, well, I got $500 to spend on software. What can I get? And then based on that, I'm going to show you software that's in the $500 range or less, and let you look at some demos and check them out at your leisure. And you let me know which one you like the best. Because see, all software is not created equal. All software is not user friendly. So for me, majority of my clients, they take my recommendation. So if I say I'm using this and I like this, they'll basically just go with the recommendation to keep it simple, especially since they have no prior training or experience, so they don't know no better. They trusted me to point them in the right direction. So Drake is one of the softwares that I've been using for over 12 years. And so I recommend that one to people because it's user friendly in my opinion, but they got to feel the same way about it. So if they don't feel the same way about it being user friendly, then that's going to make the real difference. So they got to check out the software and see for themselves if they like it the way I like it. And if they do, they go with it. If they don't, then I show them some other software they can look at and check out the demos on and see if they really like it. And so once we talk about the software, we talk about filling out the application for the third-party banks and getting approved. If you're brand new to this and you have no prior training or experience, then now we got to figure out what tax preparation course you're going to take. Are you going to take one in your local area? Are you going to take one that I'm doing and that I'm selling? So you got to figure that out. And so what I help people do is when they come to the tax preparation training, I'm working with a third-party vendor called the Income Tax School, which is now called Surgeon, the Income Tax School. I'm using them as well as a tax preparation course that I've been teaching for the last 15 years on my own. So I'm giving them two different options when it comes to the training aspect of starting your own tax preparation business. Because see, the two most challenging things about starting your own tax preparation business is going to be learning how to do taxes and learning how to prepare them on software. So those are the two most challenging things out of everything that I just talked about so far. When it comes to me sitting with you and talking about your business structure, are you going to incorporate, are you going to do LLCs, that type of information, it speaks for itself. You understand that. But when it comes to me sitting down with you and saying, okay, are you going to take a training from H&R Block? Are you going to take a Jackson Hill training in your local area if you stay in demographics that offer that? Or are you going to take something that I have going on? The choice is up to you. And then from there, you got to ask yourself what software you're going to use. Because see, we prepare tax returns with software. We do all our work with software. So once you master the software and you get good at preparing individual income taxes, then it's going to make you look good because the software going to definitely hide the fact that you might be new, especially if you're not acting like it. See, when I first got started, I wasn't like a lot of people who sat at the office, who had a client, who had to stop, who had to get help from the manager and other workers all through the process. And with that type of behavior, the client basically said, stop, I don't want this person doing my taxes because they don't know what they're doing. And so that's one of the things about learning the knowledge and skills to prepare taxes. You want to have the confidence in your ability to prepare taxes so that can show when you sit down with a client. So when a client asks you some basic tax questions, if you feel confident in yourself that you know what the answer is, then answer it. But if you don't answer it. Tell them I get back with you with the answers to those questions as soon as possible. And you keep it moving. Don't never try to give an answer based off the fact that you know in your heart you truly don't know what the answer is. Because that's going to make you look bad, and that's going to have them talk badly about you to all they people who not going to do business with you no way. So you never want to do that. And so after we got through going through module 1, we went to, and then we basically already hit module 2 because we talked about tax software and third-party banks. Those two go hand in hand. And then from there, you have to just master that software. Master getting good at preparing the tax returns. You know what I'm saying? Try to do your best not to memorize, because if you don't have a great memory like I don't, then you just want to be able to get to the resources and information you need that's going to have the answers in them. And so when it comes to the different publications, I give my clients the different publications they're going to need that's going to help them get the answer for different topics. So if you need the answer about childcare, then publication 503 will give you the information you need about childcare. And so you got that publication either off the table or you pull it up on a PDF and read through it, and you get back with your client and let them know what the requirements are for childcare and dependent care expenses. And so that's how simple it is to be able to get back with a client once you've done your research on a topic that they might need help with, and you might not know off the top of your head. Then you can go to the resource that you need to get the answer with. And then we talk about office supplies, office furnishing, and office equipment. And that's basically going to vary based on if you're doing a commercial location or if you're working from home. With me, I started from home, already had a computer, already had a printer, already had ink and paper. So all I really needed was some professional software, some basic office supplies, and basically mainly that was it. Because that first year that I worked from home, I was still working at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. And so what happened was things got so lousy at Jackson Hewitt that I just let the people know that I had my own tax preparation business set up and ready to go. And so I basically made more money working from home than I did in my last season working for Jackson Hewitt. And so from there, I branched out, got me a brick and mortar location that I rented a spot from my IT guy who had one close to where I lived at. And from there, the rest was history. So when it comes to starting and growing your tax preparation business, my coaching program was designed to help women get that done from A to Z, take away all the guesswork, give you targeted training that's going to focus on what you need to know right now. And from there, we build on top of that. So the longer you be in this industry, the longer you do what you need to do as far as learning and growing and training, the better you're going to get when it comes to being able to prepare individual income taxes. And so that's how that works. You want to definitely be confident in your ability to make that happen. Another thing is when it comes to equipment, you definitely want to have a good desktop computer or a good laptop. I've been using laptops for a while because I'm mobile. I can go to people's homes. I can meet people in public places and do their taxes, give them their results, let them know that I take this back home, process it, and get back with them with their finished paperwork that they can sign off on and give them a copy of it. So that's why I like having laptops, because I'm mobile. It gives me flexibility to move around versus just trying to stay stationary. And you want to have a good printer. If you can't afford two different printers, a good all-in-one printer work. You know, I got an HP all-in-one printer right now, where it allows me to scan documents I'm gonna need. It allows me to fax, which I don't use the fax capabilities because I got my own e-fax provider that I'm using. And then it allows me to print out the paperwork that I'm gonna put in my file folder for clients who I need to mail tax returns out to or email over. And so those things are really important. And then you want to have a onboarding system where you can securely send clients the paperwork and get paperwork from them when it comes to sensitive information. Now, if it ain't considered sensitive, don't too much worry about it. So if it ain't got no account numbers, it ain't got no credit card numbers, no debit card numbers, and no social security numbers, birthdays, stuff like that's considered sensitive information that you wouldn't want the average person to see, then you want to have a secure way to have the client send that to you, and a secure way for you to send back the finished product, which is a tax return that's going to have all the different types of information on it. That's going to have sensitive information as well as non-sensitive information on that tax return. And then from there, if you're doing a brick and mortar commercial location, then we talk about furniture. We talk about computer desks. We talk about chairs for the clients to sit in. We talk about having other things inside the office that they can have that's going to have them comfortable while they're waiting, like magazines and books, serving them coffee and water and juice, and having all those different things available in the office for your clients is important, because customer service and having them feel comfortable while they're there waiting to get their taxes service is real important. And so the next thing we talked about was payroll, bookkeeping, and outsourcing options. So a lot of people like me, I started out with maybe 5 or 6 workers, and so I used ADP as outsourcing. They did all the payroll and stuff for me, the W-2s at the end of the year, paid the taxes and all that. And so I didn't have the time to sit there and get all that done, because I'm doing taxes myself 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. And so there's no way for me to efficiently do all those other tasks and be at the front desk preparing taxes all day long, all tax season long, uh, and turn around and go do those other things. So I had to hire someone to help me get those things done on a regular basis. And so those are some of the things that we talk about when it comes to having your tax preparation set up on the front end. Another thing we talk about is business insurance, especially if you got a brick and mortar location. You definitely want some insurance that's going to cover any type of losses that you might suffer as a result of having that location. You want to be covered from that, because the landlord might be covered, but he's not going to have your stuff covered. And if he is, he's not going to tell you about it. Ain't like you're going to get no check from him for that. So you want to have your own business general liability insurance. You want to have errors and omission insurance. That's if you got employees where if they're making mistakes on a tax return that you consider liable for, then the insurance will cover that debt, that bill that has generated as a result of your tax preparers making any possible mistakes on the tax return. You want to be covered. And so you definitely want to have that type of insurance as well. Tools and resources basically comes in the form of making sure that, like I say, when it comes to you having a way to send and receive information, that's a tool that's going to allow you to do that. Depending on what type of software you use, some of them have an app that come with it. Some got a portal that come with it. Some have it where you can buy one that'll come with it. Either way it goes, you have the option to purchase that, so you can have a secure way to send and receive tax documents, especially the ones that's considered sensitive. And so you definitely want to have that in play. Another thing you want to do is I use irs.gov for all things concerning research and questions I don't know. I'm going to irs.gov first. I'm going to the people who's in charge of this career industry when it comes to the things I need to know that I don't know. And I let all my clients that I work with know this is a site you want to make your number one friend when it comes to research and finding out the answer to questions that you don't know that a client might have that they might ask you. And then I give them other places that they can go that's also part of irs.gov website for training that they can learn about that's going to make them better tax preparers and tax professionals in the long run. And then the next thing we talk about compliance training and other streams of income. Now, compliance training falls under 2 different aspects for me. When it comes to the third-party vendor bank that we deal with, every year we have compliance training that we have to take in order to be able to work with the banks with our clients. And then we have compliance training that might vary based on what state you're in. You got some states, you have about 5 states that got state requirements. That's part of compliance that you got to have in place in order to do taxes. So if you're in California or New York or Oregon, you know what I'm saying, those are some places that you got to have some stuff already in place to even go out and work for a company or go out and do your own thing. And so that's part of compliance training that I talk about. And then when you talk about additional income streams, other than making money from tax preparation, we make money from audits. We have clients, especially our self-employed small business owners, who get audited. And if they're getting audited, we give them 2 methods always. We give you the free method and we give you the paid method. The free method means we're going to tell you what you need to do and you got to go make it happen. The paid method means we're going to tell you how much it's going to cost for someone else to do it. And you get to choose which one you want to do. And so if you choose the free method, the problem with free methods when it comes to self-employed people being audited is that it's so tedious. There's so much information you got to put together that they never fully do it all. So they never fully get their full refund because they didn't send all the information in they needed to do. And so instead of just paying us to get it done, they felt that they'd just do much as they can, send that in, and then wonder why they didn't get a full refund. And so it's always best to do the paid method, especially if you know you're not going to fully take the free method and do it in the way it needs to be done fully, so you can get your free refund, your refund amount, especially if you one of the people who didn't get a check up front. Because you got two situations. You got people who gonna get a check up front, and you got people who had a check put on hold up front where they asked for additional information in order to get the check. So if you're one of those people who the IRS wanted more information first before they send the check out, then if you didn't send all the information they needed in order for them to be satisfied with giving you the check, then you didn't get a check. And if you was a person who got a check first, then they asked you later on, hey, to send us additional information about that tax return, and you couldn't send it in, then they took back the check. And so those are the two situations that you will face when it comes to having clients who've been audited who need your assistance. And then other income streams, it was audited. That's an additional income stream. The IRS has one program and one program only for people who owe money, and that's called offering compromise. But the problem with that concept is you must qualify for that in order to put in an application and fill out the paperwork for the offering compromise program. IRS tell you to stay away from people who claim they can sell your debts for pennies on the dollar, especially when they ask you for money up front before they see if you even approve for the program. So if somebody asks you for money up front to help you settle your debts for pennies on the dollar with the IRS before they even ask you for the information they need to see if you even qualify for the program, then that lets you know these people don't have your best interests at heart. They up to no good. They're just trying to take your money. And I had clients who got caught up in those type of situations where they gave other people their money to help them solve their debt, and I'm the guy doing their tax returns. And that made no sense to me. They just let me know how special they was, that you would go outside of getting your tax returns done to get somebody else your money to help you solve a debt that you could have talked to me about first. Well, I could have educated you and told you that those people you want to stay away from. So there's so much stuff going on when it comes to starting a tax preparation business that if you're not confident in your ability to go through these steps of set up your own tax business, and then being able to handle the different situations that's going to come across the table as a result of having your own tax business, then the smart move to make is to invest in someone's mentorship and coaching program. Now, everybody ain't gonna like my flow, everybody ain't gonna like my style, everybody ain't gonna like the way I talk, and so that's fine with me. That's already understood before I even got on the video. But it's gonna be some people who like my flow, like my style, who like what I got to say, who are gonna become clients eventually. And that's all I need. Everybody ain't my ideal client, no way. And that's real simple. So I got two types of ideal clients. I got one who, when it comes to their tax preparation needs, the ideal client is the person who want their stuff done accurately and professionally based on their own individual situation. That's it, that's all. And then my self-employed and small business owners are the ones who I help maximize their profits through tax deductions or tax write-offs. So those who are my ideal clients are, and that's the categories they fall under. Another thing that we go through is understanding certifications. Right now, like I said, there's only a handful of states that you got to have state requirements to get started, and the rest of the states you don't have to have anything. You just go sign out the window, say tax preparation, come on in, get your taxes done, and that's how it works. But the IRS is trying to get legislation on the books that's going to allow them to reinstate the program that they tried to do in 2011, which is going to require all tax preparers who are getting paid to do taxes certification. Now, I took the test back then and passed it. So if they ever get that program back in place and they reinstate it, I'm good to go because I've already taken it and passed it. And so for people who want to make a career this long term, 20 years or plus, like I did, you definitely want to consider getting some type of certification on your belt or some type of license that's going to protect you. So when these different changes take place in the industry, you won't be kicked out. You won't be booted out because you don't have no certification or no professional license that's going to cover you and protect you from them squeezing you out of the industry. And so even though I don't have a professional license right now, I'm looking to get my enroll agent license sometime next year. And that's going to keep me from ever having to be worried about being pushed out of this industry because I don't have any type of certification or professional license. So another thing that we covered was, uh, and so that was basically, those are the steps we basically took the clients through when it came to getting started. And they all got questions and concerns that I answer on a regular basis. They have access to me on a regular basis, do weekly trainings on a regular basis. And so if you know you want to start your own tax service, but you don't have the confidence in your ability to take the research that you've already done and make it happen for yourself. If you don't like me and my flow and what I represent, find someone who you like well enough that you can talk to, call up, have them answer your questions, concerns about getting started and getting and taking action on it. You know what I'm saying? Because until you take action, you don't have a clue if this is the right career move for you in the first place. You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're the person who don't have no prior training or experience, you just don't know. So the quicker you take action, the quicker you get to find out if this is a good fit for you as a career and a business model in the tax preparation and taxation industry. For the people that's already in the industry who work for firms who want to go to the next level by starting their own firm, they already know what they want to do because they got real world experience with doing it. So when it comes to this coaching program of mine, I'm doing a special that starts today, the second, but it ends on the 5th, where my normal price is $2,000 or 4 payments of $500. I'm doing a special one-time payment of $1,000 or 3 payments of $432. The one-time payment will get you 2 years worth of free software and free tax preparation training if you need it, and some other perks and bonuses. The payment option will give you discounts on the software, but it won't give you free software. And so that's the big difference between one-time payment versus payment plan option. Is that the one-time payment is designed to benefit you much greatly because I can do more with a one-time payment than I can with payment options. And so if you want to start your own tax preparation business and you want to get the ebook, well, I'm still giving it away for free, which that's going to end on December the 5th as well. Then, like I said, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter, Instagram. So there's no way for you not to get in touch with me. And the least you can do is call me up. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's see if we're a good fit for working with one another, especially if you want to start your own tax preparation business in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Because you can still make some money in 2022 once you get all your credentials set up. You can still make money because we work from January to October 15th for every year, basically the whole year. So if I get a client in November, I'm going to still do that client tax return and let them know what's going to happen with that situation. So this live walkthrough training is designed to educate the person who especially don't have no prior training experience, have an understanding of what it's going to take to get started, to grow their business, and to be profitable and successful by getting realistic information up front, making an informed decision based on some realistic information that I send you over through email that you can check out at your own leisure before you make an investment with someone's program or someone's tax course. So before you go spend money with H&R Block or spend money with whoever to take their tax program or their tax course, at least get with me so I can see you over some information that you can use as a guide that's going to help you to make sure that whoever you get with is not trying to misuse you and just take your money and not be able to deliver on the promise that they say they're going to be able to make when it comes to what they say they're going to be able to do for you with starting your own tax preparation business. So when it's all said and done, take action, take action, take action, and I'll see you in my next video.